Badman, LB, Rupert, Albert, and the Bishop Paul Brown. Badman for the 2020-2021. And you know what it is. You know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego too. This is Paul and Rupert.
We're back!
Coming out with a brand new thought, covered under the blood in which we were born. So we know how to get to.
Is for bold, A is for active, D is for determined. When you consider King David's valiant, you have an idea and understanding of taking this. Stay tuned.
Hallelujah, revive us again.
We are excited to bring fresh commentary, good conversation with two bad men. Boy, you don't want to miss this. Bad Men for Christ. Join us.
Stands for determined, just like Peter when he did his first sermon. As the saying goes, bad men for Christ. That is how we'll be for the rest of our life. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our show because we're stuck in the house with nowhere to go.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. We're back again, Overseer.
Another day, another Monday. We are back. Bad Men for Christ. Yes, sir. The Bad Man Show.
Welcome, guests. Those on Facebook, those also on YouTube, on over social media. We want to welcome you to another edition of the Bad Man Show. How are you doing, Overseer?
Man, I'm telling you, I am doing well. We had a great service on yesterday. I'm telling you, this Overcomer campaign thing is excellent. What a great idea. We got to talk about that. We got to take a show where we talk about this Overcomer deal with this campaign because it's just a great thing. Great information, great way to present a thought to people. So, but other than that, man, things are going great. Manchester United won. Mark Brodus, woo-woo, we're in 4th place in the Premier League. I can't talk about the Dallas Cowboys because we're in no place in footballs. But other than that, we're all good. How about you, sir? What about you?
I got a second again what you said about the Overcomer series. It's been a tremendous blessing. We had an excellent presentation by co-pastor Overseer Justine and Bishop Claxton on the last Bible hour. It was just a tremendous, just to see husband and wife working together in ministry. It was a tremendous session, and we truly appreciate that. Yes.
Great.
So talk to me about what you've been thinking about lately.
Well, you know, what I've been thinking about lately is the fact that, you know, in our life, right, God is a holistic God. He's not just a God for a one thing or two things. He's a holistic God. He looks at you both spiritually, mentally, and physically. It encompasses the whole body, right? We kind of always concentrate on the spiritual aspect. We're just recently now dealing with the mental aspect. But there is still a point that a lot of us miss out on. And I don't know if you agree, but don't you think we're missing out on the physical aspect of this thing?
I agree. I 100% agree.
Right.
In fact, go ahead, sir. No, I was going to say a scripture that comes to mind when you talk about the physical aspect in Ecclesiastes 7:29. The text reads, it says something like this: "Lo, this one thing have I found, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions." Now, I know it's not the upright physically, but I always think of the fact that man was made upright. That means upstanding.
Right.
And so, you know, so when it comes to physical, we need to talk about all things straight.
Right.
You know, so like for me, I have been blessed where the Lord has touched the heart of a chiropractor, where the Lord spoke to him to do ministry at our church. And as a result of that, over the last 10 years, he has been to our church once a week within the community where he does practice chiropractor. And as a result of that, overseer, you may not have noticed, but that's the reason why I am straighter than you.
I don't know about that much. We're gonna have to the doctor. We're gonna have to the doctor to see who's the straighter person.
You may be taller.
Pretty good.
Overseer, you may be taller, but when you put us standing up next together, I am straighter because I have a doctor that has been taking care of me for over 10 years.
Let's bring the doctor in. Let's bring Dr. Andrew Daniele in. And because Doctor, welcome. Let's give Doctor a hand. We thank you, Doctor, for coming in. I think Bishop Brown has a problem because he thinks that he's straighter. I'm only stooping over to be able to talk to him face to face. I don't think it's straighter, but that's up to him.
Well, I can tell you the Bishop Brown spine is the picture of health. I've taken care of him for a long time. Yeah, it's amazing. He is amazing. Yeah. Nobody's spine can match Bishop Brown.
Welcome, Dr. Daniele.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. Dr. Daniele, please share with our audience a little bit about yourself. You know, you can categorize it personal, professional, or even ministry. Just a little snapshot, because we got a whole bunch of questions for you. And our audience is ready to ask you questions because we're introducing a subject that within our community, we normally do not actually subscribe to.
Okay, well, I think I'd like to tell you how I started in my journey to be a chiropractor. I was in high school, and I was very neurotic. I thought I had to have my whole future planned, and I was lamenting about that to a friend. He said, well, why don't you think about being a chiropractor? And I said, well, why would you say that to me? He goes, well, you seem to be so interested in the body and in health. I said, well, I never thought of pursuing anything like that, but he gave me a phone number to call his chiropractor. So I called the chiropractor. I was 16, and he said, I explained to him, I'm thinking about talking to you about a career in chiropractic. A friend recommended you to talk to. And he said, well, do you know what chiropractors do? I said, well, you take care of back problems. He goes, that's not really what chiropractic is. That's old school chiropractic. Modern chiropractic is a lot. So why don't you come in and we'll talk about it. So I went into his office, and he was explaining chiropractic in a group setting to a group of people that just started with him. And when everyone left, I sat down with him and I said, let me understand this right. In order for your body to be working properly, everything's got to be coordinated, and the nerve system coordinates everything. Every function of the body is somehow coordinated by your brain, spinal cord, and nerves. He said, exactly. And I said, furthermore, you're telling me that the spine can come out of alignment through all kinds of things, from a traumatic birth, a bad fall, a roller coaster ride, sports injuries. And I said, you call that misalignment subluxation. And subluxation may not cause symptoms for years and years, but it always results in the body having less coordination of the nerves, so the body will not function as well as it should. He said, that's right, you got it. And I said, and furthermore, chiropractors correct subluxations so the nerves work better, so the body works better. He goes, exactly, you understand it perfectly. I said, I don't understand it at all. He goes, no, you understand it more than most people. He says, what don't you understand? I said, well, why doesn't everyone go to a chiropractor? He goes, aha, now you got it. So I started going to a chiropractor at age 16 because I wanted to experience what life was like with a spine that was aligned properly. Now, I had no pain, I had no aches, no nothing. But in my teenage years, I was sick all the time. That's why my friend said to me, you're very into health. I was very into health because I was sick all the time. And my parents took me to every doctor. I had blood tests, allergy tests, this test. Nobody could figure out, why did I always get sick? I started going to the chiropractor. I stopped getting sick. I've been a chiropractor for 39 years.
Wow.
I've missed 3 days in 39 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So to me, chiropractic isn't a treatment for anything. It's not a cure for anything. it's a system. It's sort of like exercise for your spine that you can't do all by yourself. It's a system of keeping the spine healthy. And when the spine is healthy, your nerve system is able to coordinate all those different functions. So I became a chiropractor. I graduated in 1983. And I became a real Christian in 1985. And it really was a big blessing to me because I was able to recognize God's hand in my life.
Excellent.
And that has made such a big difference because you can move bones as precisely as you want. If you're not conscious that God is guiding you, I don't think that you're as effective. Most chiropractors that I know who are blessed with really good practices like me, almost all of them have a connection with God in some way. Like anything else in life, you try to do it yourself, it's not going to go as well as if you let God oversee everything and run everything, and you just be his implement.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Doctor, first of all, let me just say to everybody, thank you again for joining us. Please subscribe and like us on YouTube and Facebook. You can do that right now. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Let them know about the Bad Man Show so they can join us every week on Monday at 7:15 to 8:15. Now we are going 1 hour. And also, please write your questions and comments. We will get to them. Write your questions and comments. We will get to them. I know that you should have some questions today for this man because I have one right now because you kind of blew my mind away when you said that it's about the system, nerves, and all that stuff to keep our bodies aligned and in balance. So me per se, Doc, I am an athlete, or I was an athlete. I played sports all my life. I still play sports today. I play basketball. I still sometimes go out there and play soccer. If there's a volleyball game going and I'm by it, I'll play it. It doesn't make a difference to me. I love competition. I love sports. So you're saying that I lessened my ability to be coordinated because I did not go to a chiropractor.
You missed out on your potential.
Wow.
Whoa.
Most athletes have their own personal chiropractor. For decades now, every Olympic team has had its own chiropractor. Chiropractic can enhance. The greatest thing about chiropractic is getting your spine aligned will either help you a little bit, which is not very likely, or it'll help you a lot, but it can't hurt. It is like exercise. Everyone could benefit from exercise. Everyone could benefit from getting their spine adjusted. Now, the fact, brother, that you've done athletics your whole life, you had many benefits from that, right? You kept your body strong. You kept your heart strong, your lungs strong. There's a lot of benefits from that for sure. But did you play football?
I didn't play football.
Okay, that's good. Well, I got to tell you, and my idea of chiropractic is it's supposed to set people free to do whatever they want. But I've never checked anyone who's played even a year of football who has not had misalignment of the spine. And they're like, well, how could that be? I said, well, think about it for a second. You're wearing equipment so people literally don't get killed on the field, right?
Right.
And even high school games have an ambulance parked outside the stadium. Why? Because it's that dangerous of a game. Being in a football game has more impact on the human skeleton, the human frame, than most car accidents do. Yeah. So there is a limit the body can take. Our bodies, as we know, are mortal. Our bodies have limitation. You can't jump off of a 20-foot building and expect to be okay from it. The great thing about chiropractic is it allows you to live closer to your potential. We all have potentials. God has given us these incredible potentials. You look back in the Old Testament, how old did people live? Hundreds of years.
Yes,
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Do you know that science is constantly moving the amount of years that we may have as a life expectancy in the future? People are living to 100 all the time now. When I was a kid growing up in the 60s, it was rare for somebody to be. They say the human body could probably replicate cells and live healthy for probably 150 years, maybe even longer, if all things were optimal.
Yeah.
But obviously all things aren't optimal. We have a lot of challenges, and playing sports is a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing to be active, to take good care of yourself. But this is what's interesting. You can exercise, drink enough water, get enough sleep, eat all the right foods, have a great mental attitude. All of that is important, but it will not be to the best benefit if your nerve system isn't able to coordinate all those things. Nutrition is a big thing for people, right?
Yes.
And it is important. But did you know that there are a lot of people who eat some fairly bad diets, and yet their body, as miraculous as it is, will take whatever it gets given to it, rearrange the chemicals, and make all the things that the person needs, and they live a long, healthy life. And the opposite is true. Some people will have a perfect diet. They don't eat any junk food. They eat all their vegetables and vitamins, and yet their body suffers. Now, why is that? Because some people are able to process food better than others. Well, what controls the digestive system? The nerve system. Every system of the body has a job. The digestive system turns food that you eat, the chemicals you could use. Your muscular system moves things around. Your lymphatic system, your immune system kills germs that would overrun and destroy your body. The circulatory system pumps blood. Every system has a purpose, but the nerve system doesn't have anything to do except control and coordinate everything in the body. So you want that nerve system control. When we're in grammar school, we learn homeostasis, right? Homeostasis is the body running properly. Well, that's what the nerve system does.
So
what were you going to ask?
So I'm fascinated by this now because I've never gone to a chiropractor. Never. Okay. I feel like my body's straight, but I seen this on television. Big Shaq, 7 foot 2, 300-pound dude. A chiropractor's twisted his body and he's screaming. Part of the reason why I won't go is because if Shaq is screaming, I don't know what I'm going to do. so tell me, is it really something where we are going through the pains? And is it painful? Is it? I remember Shaq's Bishop Brown because he's been sitting there in your hands, but is it painful? Is it something that, people are saying, man, it looks too painful to go through?
Oh, well, let me jump on in here. Oh, no, Doc has been, again, Doc is delicate. It is. I have been blessed over these years. Remember, I worked in industry where I am bending down, most looking at laptops, computer. That's what I did. But I'm straight and upright because I have been to the chiropractor once a week over these many years. Come on, folks. I know you're listening to this wonderful conversation. You have to have some questions. And I know you have questions. So please bring them on in. You have a chiropractor who will give you not only from he will also give you from a spiritual aspect. So bring your questions on in.
I would like to talk about what Brother Rupert brought up. People a lot of times come in our office and they for the first visit, and they will say, I hesitated coming in because I saw chiropractors working on YouTube. I want to say, I watched those videos also. I don't know what they're doing, but none of what you see on YouTube is taught at chiropractic school. I'm not even sure if these people are chiropractors. It is nothing. Yes. I don't know about Shaq, what he was getting done, but we don't have people scream in the office ever.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, we have people who they get on the table and they get their adjustment. It only takes 2 minutes, and most people leave smiling and happy. Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to start doing it. Oh my goodness, this is just. I'm about to start doing this. I am. We thank God for Brother Simon Urban who's jumped on. He said he goes every week. It's not painful. All right, Simon. All right, and I know Simon's soft. So if it's not painful to Simon,
we still haven't gotten any questions yet. So one of the thing is I'd like for Doc to share with us is Doc was in in a terrible accident. And as you heard, he has been to the chiropractor since he's been 16 years old. And I believe that this is one of the benefits why we actually have him here today. Not only that, he told me that even when he was in the hospital, in the facility, it was a requirement that he had his chiropractor to come in to adjust him, even regardless of the COVID restriction. So, Doc, please share with us your experience from the accident and a little bit of what you went through and some of the things that you did.
Okay, so the accident happened on the 4th of July. Before that, from age 16 to age 60, I've been getting adjusted at least once a week. I was riding a bicycle and someone hit me with a pickup truck, knocked me unconscious. I had multiple fractures. I woke up in the hospital, and the next morning, surgeon comes in and says, "I'm going to be doing your surgery. You need a lot of surgery." I said, "Okay." And he said, "It'll take somewhere around 13 weeks before you can walk without a walker." I said, 13 weeks? I said, "That's kind of long, isn't it?" He goes, "Oh," he says, "you've got so many fractures. I'm going to have quite a time putting you back together." I said, "Okay." So 7 weeks went by. I went to his office for an update, and he took new x-rays of me. And I'm watching him look at one x-ray, then the other, then the other. Then he goes back, and I'm starting to wonder if everything's okay. I said, "Doctor, is everything okay?" He goes, "This is amazing." I said, "What's amazing?" He goes, "You look incredibly healed for the amount of time it's been." He goes, "You could probably walk right now." That was 7 weeks. He said, "But we'll play it safe. We'll wait another couple of weeks." Now, I'm not 100%. I'm by far 100%, but I'm doing better than the doctor thought as far as the broken pelvis, which he thought was going to be a problem. I'm still dealing with problems with numbness and pain, and I'm still not 100%, but the doctor was amazed at the amount of progress. Bishop Brown brought it up. In the hospital, I had visitors available, and I had chiropractic friends come in. Now they could only adjust my neck, but just adjusting the neck and getting the brain to coordinate with the rest of the body was a huge thing. Then I went into rehab. In rehab, there were no visitors allowed. Zero. You couldn't have any visitors. So I met on the first day with the administrator, and I said, "Well, I'm a chiropractor, and I want to tell you, I understand and I respect your policy of no visitors, but I need to get my chiropractor in here every 2 days to adjust my neck because it's vitally important to me. And if you can't," this was in the end of July, it was about 100 degrees out when I spoke to him. I said, and I couldn't get out of bed at that point. And I said, "If you can't make that happen, I will get myself in that wheelchair and go out to your parking lot, and I'll get adjusted in your parking lot." He says, "You can't do that." I said, "Well, I will do that if you don't." So he was a very nice man about it, and I got adjusted while I was in there, and it really did make a difference. It made a big difference because I know with the extent of my injuries, as much as I still have to recover, still I'm doing better because of my chiropractic care.
Wow,
made a big difference. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that's great. I mean, you talked about near death. You didn't get to it really. You can let these folks know how close or how bad it really was.
Well,
right?
I just wanted to say, like I said before, I've been blessed. Bishop Brown has been a wonderful mentor to me, and my own pastor Dan in my church. And when I had the accident, they told me the day after the accident, "Your spleen is injured and we're going to watch it." And I didn't really know what that meant. But 4 days after the accident, I was lying in the hospital bed and I realized something was very wrong. And I called the nurse. I said, please get a doctor. I need a doctor immediately. The doctor came in and he started to talk to me and stuff. I said, I don't know what's wrong, but so he took my my blood pressure, and by the time they took the blood pressure, there was almost no blood pressure. They raced in a gurney, grabbed my bed sheets, threw me on the gurney, and literally ran to the operating room. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I'm going to die this way, am I? But the thing that I wanted to share with people is I was not afraid. I wasn't even praying, because I settled with God a long time ago, and I didn't feel like I was in an emergency. I knew that my body might expire, but I was not afraid. So what I want to pass along is, it's not the time to get right with God when you're this close to death. That's not, I think that would be poor manners.
Yeah.
I think it's much better if you have if you have your spiritual life in good order, because it really does make a difference. When you do have a crisis or an emergency, it makes things a lot less stressful.
Yeah. Before we get to the question asked, I got to say this, Doc. I want to say that it is incredible what God did for you as a teenager. He did this, put your body in a place where your nerves were right, everything's going on. So he knew that you were going to be in this accident. He knew you were going to be in this bed. But because your body is so in tune with itself, because of what you did for all those years, you were able to sit in that bed and say, something's wrong. Where I might have said, hey, I got a stomach ache. I don't know what's going on. I'm good. I'm just going to roll over. But you knew something was wrong, so you were able to call somebody. So God already set that up for you. So it's a testament to getting ourselves in balance. God wants us to be spiritually in balance, right? Spiritually, mentally, and physically, because there will be things that will happen to our body that if our nerves aren't right, if our back isn't right, it doesn't get those nerves right, we're not going to know that there's something wrong. So literally, we are shortening our lifespan because we have not done a simple thing like get a 2-minute adjustment, like you've been talking about. So that's really awesome. I'm going to take this to heart. I really am. The question that we have for you today is, how does chiropractor's services compare with a body massage?
Well, that's a simple question. It's a good question. A massage works with primarily the muscles, somewhat with the joints, and the benefits of massage are many. It's relaxing, it improves circulation, it's good for the mind, it relieves stress, it's good for the lymphatic system. It goes on and on and on. Chiropractic does one simple thing. It moves hard bones off soft nerves so your nerves work better. Now, massage does not do that. So that's the difference. Massage has benefits that are different from chiropractic benefits, but chiropractic is the only discipline that has the intention of improving your nerve function through spinal alignment. Everything else, whether it be nutrition, massage, physical therapy, all has its value, but the thing that makes chiropractic different is its intention. And that intention is the person getting off the table has a better connection between the brain and the rest of the body.
All right.
You know, it's funny, what chiropractic is a science. There's tons of science about how chiropractic benefits, the body. But chiropractic is more than just a science. And what I love about chiropractic is it's not a religion in any way, but it is philosophically based. It recognizes that we have an inborn intelligence that runs our body. In chiropractic, they don't want to get into religion, so they just call it something. They call it innate intelligence. But like I said, a lot of my friends are spiritual people also who are chiropractors, and they recognize that this is part of our spirit being. This is what animates us. This is what if you want to say what separates us from our corpse. Our corpse, if you think about it, if someone suddenly ceases to be alive, all the parts are there that sustained life just minutes ago. All the cells, all the chemicals, all the bone, everything's there. Why isn't the person alive? The person's no longer animated through an intelligence, through matter. That's the definition of life in chiropractic, is the expression of intelligence through matter. And chiropractic allows that inborn intelligence that God-given to express itself more. It allows us to be more to our potential.
Good, Overseer. We got another question. Take that question, because I have a question for Doc.
Okay, so Mark Brodus, my good buddy, my Man Manchester United fellow, I said, do you have criteria for determining how many visits are needed? So somebody like me who has never gone.
Oh my goodness!
Somebody who's gone every now and then.
5, 6. You're probably 20 for a week.
Don't listen to Bishop Brown.
It's very simple. The methods that we use are scientifically based on anatomical structure and the physiology of the spine, how the spine works. So a chiropractic evaluation is simply through palpation. Some chiropractors use x-rays. Some chiropractors use instruments that might read heat off the spine. There are different methods to determine if a spine is functional or non-functional. So most people, because we put our bodies through a lot of artificial things that we think are fun, like going on a roller coaster at 50 miles an hour and going upside down and backwards and all, I ask people when they come off of a amusement park ride, how do you feel? Do you feel healthy and vibrant and coordinated, or do you feel like you've just been in a car accident? And most people say, no, I feel like I've just been in a car accident. I said, well, because your spine has been rattled around. So most people's spines do have subluxation to one degree or another. Not everyone, but most people that we check are out of alignment to one degree or another. So chiropractors first establish the need for care, and then it's up to the person really to determine how often they want to get their spine checked. I get my spine checked every week. Before the accident, it was because my work as a chiropractor was very demanding on my body. Most people who want optimum spinal alignment, they do some type of regular care. The spine is like every other part of the human body. If you give it regular attention, it's going to give you far less problems than if you neglect it until it's in a crisis. So to answer my friend's question, first thing you do is determine if your spine needs help, and most people do. And then second, the chiropractor will recommend, well, how often do you want to get your spine checked? Now, sometimes you may go to the chiropractor and not need anything done. That's wonderful. But there's also the scenario that you can get your spine back into alignment, and then the next day have an incident where you have a fall, bang your head, whatever, and then you're out of alignment again. So the question is, how well do you want to maintain your spine? Again, let's go back to exercise. You know, we're in January, and still the gyms and the health clubs are full of people who have made New Year's resolutions, but they won't be there that much longer. And you ask them, well, why are you working out? And it's like, well, I made a New Year's resolution. Well, that's great. And some people go to the gym because they want to look good. Maybe they have a wedding coming up or something like that. Those are all different reasons. But then you find the person who's at the gym 3 times a week, 52 weeks out of the year. They look great. They're in tip-top shape. They have so many advantages as far as they have better energy. They usually live longer. You ask a person like that, you look wonderful, and I can see how this is working for you, but come on, how long are you going to do this for? You're not going to do it your whole life, are you? A person like that's going to be like, I'm going to do it my whole life because I see the benefit in it. Chiropractic's the same way. You can use it when you're in a crisis, but in our office, I've got to tell you, most of the people that I take care of have no complaints whatsoever. And they come in either weekly or every 2 weeks, some every 3 weeks, for the sole reason they want their body to function as well as it should. So to answer that gentleman's question, it's a personal choice, but everybody has the ability to be better off if their spine's in good alignment.
Overseer, there's another one. Take that one. I'll put my question and I want to get to the audience. Yeah.
So Michelle Robinson, our good friend Michelle from New York, God bless you. See, Bad Men for Christ, get the sisters watching. We love it. We love
That's
it.
great.
So she has a question. I heard that chiropractic therapy is good to aid with cancer. Is that true?
Okay, that's a great question. Let me be very clear. Chiropractic treats nothing. Even if you have a back problem or a headache, or chiropractic treats nothing. Getting the spine in alignment allows your nerves to work better, so your body works better. That's it. But a body that's working well does have the ability to heal itself. I cannot tell you how many people have come to my office with one thing or another, and some things they don't even tell me about. And once they get their spine adjusted, they realize that, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, blood pressure is a perfect example. We get plenty of people come in. They don't come in for blood pressure problems. But as they get their spine and their body healthier, they notice that their blood pressure has gone down. They don't need the medication any longer. How is that? Because the nerves control the heart and the blood pressure. Now, cancer is something that we all have in our bodies all the time. We call them pre-cancer cells, but we all have that, and we all have the potential to get cancer. When does somebody get cancer? When our bodies lose control, when our bodies are overwhelmed. What controls the body? The nerve system. Does going to a chiropractor mean that you can heal from cancer? No. Going to a chiropractor means your body's going to function better. Yeah. A body functioning better has the potential to heal itself, but chiropractic treats nothing. Chiropractors should not and usually do not claim to heal anything. The body heals itself when it's functioning properly. Do you mean the body can heal itself of anything? Yeah, pretty much. That's documented. COVID is a perfect example. Does COVID kill people? It has. But most people, the vast majority of people who have been exposed to it have not died. Why? Because their body has been able to handle it. It may have been uncomfortable, you may have had symptoms, but there are millions of people who have been exposed to COVID, had no medical intervention, and their body healed. Why? Because God has given us a body that when it's functioning properly is amazing. That's why.
Amen. Amen. We're going to hold that question. It's a good question, but Bishop Brown, you want to ask a question? Because I want to get that answer, but that could be something that we can blow up because it's a good question.
No. Go ahead and answer the question because my question is shifting to something that Doctor says. I want to bring in that gold stuff that we had a couple weeks ago. And Dr. Daniele also has been a blessing to our church, talking about how to write and make good goals.
Okay, so real quickly, Deborah Johnson, she's one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. Deborah Johnson, just sweet, great intelligence, and she's related to me, by the way. She's asking a question: how can you identify a good chiropractor?
That's a great question because chiropractic is like a lot of professions. You can go to a chiropractor who says he's a chiropractor and he's more interested in other things which aren't chiropractic. And they may be doing great work in physical therapy and nutrition or whatever, but you're not going to get your spine well aligned. So the easiest thing I could say is you could call me and I can help you find a chiropractor. But if you don't want to do that, there are some basics. If somebody is advertising their office as a family chiropractic office, that's usually a telltale sign because children benefit from chiropractic incredibly well, and yet they don't have any symptoms. So if you find a chiropractor who is working with families, he's usually doing misalignment, subluxation correction, and that's where you want to end up. Other than that, you want to find a chiropractor who talks about spinal health, neurologic health, and subluxation, and doesn't, this is the best I could tell you, doesn't just talk about pain. If a chiropractor is just talking about pain and symptom relief, you may not be getting the same type of care that I'm talking about, which is, I'll admit it, lifetime care. I tell people when they start with me on their second visit, I just want you to know, Mr. Jones or Mrs. Jones, I will always recommend chiropractic care for the rest of your life. I am sure from doing this for 4 decades, it's one of the best things you could do. We'll honor whatever you want to do as far as how long you want to be with us, but I don't make any apologies for the fact that I recommend chiropractic should be part of a healthy lifestyle.
Which means, overseer, my niece needs to sign up. Did you hear what the doctor says?
Trust me, I hope wifey's listening. I hope he's listening, because we are going to find a chiropractor in our area, or we're going to have to find We're going to have to go all the way to Neptune to find Dr. Daniele and get him to work with us once a week. We gotta do something.
Well, we're gonna make sure we get Dr. Daniel's information. He's in Mattawan, and have his number so that we can actually post it before we get offline. But Doc, what I wanted to ask you to share with our audience while you're on the subject are the benefits of goal setting. The benefits, because as you were mentioning, it's January and there are a lot of folks that are in the gym, and goal setting and chiropractic services goes together. And as you said, you are you recommend a lifetime practice, good lifetime practices.
Well, before I get into that, I do want to say, before our time runs out, many of you probably have children, or you may be a young person listening to this. Chiropractic is a wonderful career. And in February, the last Saturday in February, I'm going to be doing a career talk in my office. And I have to tell you, it is a wonderful, wonderful way to have a purpose in life that's very worthwhile, where you help people. So if you have any idea that you may want to do something where you help people, where it's an honest profession, you can really make a change in people's lives, please contact me, because I'm very instrumental with helping people with a career in chiropractic. Now, getting to
give us your contact information right there. Our producer is going to write it down and they will post it on the screen at some time.
Sure. Our office is called About You Chiropractic, and our website is aboutyouchiropractic.com. And you can reach us at 732-583-0600.
That's About You with the letter U, or
YOU.
YOU. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about goals for a second. This is one of my favorite subjects, because we can debate on why we are here, but there's no question that a life should be purposeful. A life should have meaning. You should have a life that you can look back on, where you've said, I've spent my time and energy and efforts in a worthwhile way. I'm sure that we weren't put here on earth just to have a good time. So to be effective at anything, whether it be a doctor or we need so many people in the world, right? We need people to run our auto mechanic place properly. We need people to keep the streets clean. We need all kinds of people, right? So whatever your life work is, it should be worthwhile. Your relationships should be worthwhile. I can tell you, in my office, even though I have not been able to work for over 6 months, my office is still going strong because I built relationships based on not me being a nice guy, but me having a purpose, and that is to help people as best I can. And my people know that. My practice members, we don't call them patients, we call them practice members. They know that. And a big part of my life is wanting to be effective, wanting to have a vision where I can look back on the year, the day, the week, it doesn't matter, and say, I did something worthwhile. So with a lot of help, I've learned it's not complicated to have a simple notebook. I use a spiral notebook that cost me 99 cents at the dollar store. And in the front of it, I have my goals. I'm sorry, that's not true. The first page is my list of things that I'm grateful for. Because if you don't have a thankful heart, you're missing out a lot. So every morning, because our minds work in many different ways, I want my brain to see it and to hear it. So early in the morning, I have my cup of coffee and I read over my goals out loud. I read over what I'm thankful for, and the list changes, but I always start with what I'm thankful for. Then I list my goals, and I will read out my goals. And then what I've gotten in the habit of doing lately, which is working wonderful for me, is then I will start 5 minutes, maybe 10, and I'll start to just write as in a journal. I'll do some journal writing. And I find that is a way for my spirit to speak to my conscious mind, because our conscious mind is our brain waves. That's not who we are. Our conscious mind, our brain, can sometimes mislead us, but our spirit is always there. And I journal write, and it's a good way for me to connect with my soul a little bit better. And it's very creative and it's very helpful. So that is what I do. My wife and I have goals together. We have goals separately. I have goal setting workshops in my office once a year, and people love it. They come every year. And I find that it helps people grow. It helps people grow and have more, a richer life. What I mean by richer is a sweeter, more meaningful life, a life with better connections with people, a life with better connections with God. I always tell people, if you know, in my office, I make no apologies. I tell them, if you're making the most out of your life all by yourself and you're not asking God for help, you're missing out on a lot of help. And most people get it on some level. On some level, I think everybody, it's in their DNA to reach out for God. They just need some help sometimes.
Beautiful. Yes.
Doc, we've got a ton of questions. Thank you so much. It's great. Let's see if we can go through these rapid fire because we're running out of time. So how does chiropractic care help you sleep, or does it even help you?
It does help you sleep a lot. When your spine is relaxed, your nerves are relaxed, your body's relaxed, you get a better sleep. Next question.
Cool. Bring it in, guys. Bring it in. Would you recommend one to go to the chiropractor without a referral from your doctor?
Yes, absolutely. It's up to you. It's not up to your doctor to dictate what you do for your health. You should make your own decision as far as what you're going to do for your health. Chiropractors are primary care providers. What that means is you do not need a referral. You just call the chiropractor and make an appointment and walk in. You do not need a referral. Next.
I got a question. Do you need insurance? I mean, if you have insurance, does insurance cover?
Nowadays, insurance covers some, but not much. Most people, I'd say about 75% of the people in my office pay totally out of pocket, and we make it affordable. They make it part of their budget, and I have people who've been doing it for decades, and they see value in it. So most people are like, this is the best money spent on my body, because I know it makes a difference. So I would like to encourage people, whether your insurance covers it or not. Again, if you find a chiropractor who is advertising himself as a family chiropractor, a lot of them have it right in their office title, Downtown Family Chiropractic. Those offices usually have family fees that are affordable, but you have to make the decision whether you're going to invest in yourself.
Okay, Deborah, it's so funny. Deborah Johnson, who's my sister, asked the exact same question that I asked. You see how we think? We're like, how much is this going to cost us? All right. So here's another one. Blessing Dr. Danielle Lee King. Chiropractic therapy helps spinal stenosis.
That's a great question. Spinal stenosis is a catch-all phrase that could mean many different things caused by disc problems, calcification of ligaments, very complicated. So same answer as the cancer question. Chiropractic has the potential to help anyone, but you don't use it as a treatment. You go to the chiropractor to get your spine more functional. A more functional spine has the potential to work through stenosis, but maybe not. But you're always better off with a better alignment.
Awesome. How long is a typical in-office? This is from my wife. How long is a typical in-office session?
It varies from office to office depending on the technique. It can take as little as 2 minutes. It could take as much as 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it's questionable if the chiropractor is doing something other than adjusting the spine, which is okay. But if you're just getting your spine adjusted, 2 to 5 minutes is all it should take. That's all it takes for me to adjust my wife. And I tell my practice members, I'm doing the best job I can for my wife, and it's also going to take 2 minutes to adjust you.
That's a good question. So is there certain little things that I can do for my spouse and my spouse can do for me that we can help with this? Not crazy things, but like certain things like, okay, make sure each night you do a little twist of the neck or whatever.
No. Don't lead him down that road, doctor.
I'm just asking a question. Because like massage therapy, you can. Like there's certain
I want Mrs. Johnson to live a long time.
Oh man, get out of here.
It's funny because a lot of times spouses will come in the office and they will volunteer to work on the other spouse's spine, and it's never with good intention.
That answers my question.
Next one. So, over here.
I'm sorry?
Another question.
Okay, yeah. That's a powerful statement about the brain and connection and chiro. That's not a question. That's just a statement.
Okay.
From
thank you.
So,
thank you.
Okay. Simon says I pay $70. Simon's giving us how much he pays, $70 for 4 sessions. Thank you, Brother Simon Irving, good friend of mine. Thank you. So we got your address. So I have another question that I want to talk about real quick, because the coronavirus is impacted a lot of people, everybody. So I'm sure there was some sort of impact to you. What do you do, like even in this season, where you say, okay, I'm going to be close to you? How does it impact your business, and how do you safeguard? Because maybe you go to somebody who's not safeguarding, but how should we safeguard to be safeguarded when we come to a chiropractor? And first of all, how did it impact your business, and how would you safeguard your clients?
When coronavirus started, we were already one of the busiest offices in the state, and for one doctor office. When it started, I said to my people, I said, now from when you started with me, no matter how years ago, I told you chiropractic was not about your pain or lack of pain. Chiropractic is about keeping your body strong, and that includes your immune system. And you remember, I told you the story about my own immune system when I was a kid, and everybody said yes. I said, now, do you think now is a good time to start bringing your family in? So starting in 2020, we became so busy.
Wow.
That I had to get an associate. And I do have an associate running the practice now because I can't work. But it's more important than ever. People realize I need to take better care of myself. So the impact has been, we're busier than ever because people are more health conscious. People now start care as a family. It used to be where one person would come in, get great results, and slowly bring the rest of the family in. Now we literally get people starting as a family.
Wow.
And that's great. Yep. So we are, we're proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I don't have one single person, and we take care of hundreds and hundreds of people. I don't have one single person that's been coming to me regularly who has died of coronavirus. Not one. And I don't, again, chiropractic is not a cure. It's not a panacea. It's a way to keep your body strong. And if your body's strong, the immune system is amazing. When your immune system is functioning properly, it eats germs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can't stop it. You know that to be true. When your body is strong and vibrant, somebody could sneeze all over you. You're not going to get sick. But if your defenses are low, you haven't been getting enough sleep, you're run down, somebody could sneeze on the other side of town and you get sick, right?
Right.
Yeah. God has given us all the tools to be healthy if our bodies are functioning properly.
Dr. Daniel, it's been a tremendous blessing to have you on. Really do. Really, I really appreciate you coming on, and you have given us some great information. One of my hidden agenda was to get our overseer to see a chiropractor, and it looked like it has worked. I appreciate that. You did. If that, that's tremendous. And we're thankful, and we hope that sometime in the future we will have you to come back on again.
Yes,
and I really believe that this show was one of our best as far as educating our audience in what's important, in to taking care of themselves. And we truly appreciate the information they have given us, and even sharing some of your life experience.
I want to thank you for having me. And I want to take this time to thank Bishop Brown for always being supportive of me and being a real blessing to me. Our friendship means a lot.
Awesome.
Thank you, Doc.
I take everything from that last part that you said about Bishop Brown. I don't know.
He's just jealous. That's all. While Doc is on the phone, while Doc is with us, we want to say next month starts Black History Month, and we was reached out to have a guest to come on back, but he was not able to make it next Monday. So Overseer Rupert and myself, we are going to kick off the Black History Month with our own show. Oh, we got one question coming in. Can we squeeze this one, producer?
Well, yeah, I think we can. Are there exercises one can do to self-align?
No. When you are getting aligned, there are plenty of exercise that you can do to keep your body strong. But the body is amazing. If your nerves are working right, your body is working right. Almost any exercise you do, your body will take that exercise and make it good. But there's no exercise. Well, this is not true. Our bodies are constantly aligning ourselves as much as it can. And our body is made to keep its spine in alignment itself. Chiropractors help when the body's lost that capacity, mostly because we've become a lifestyle that has a lot of stress on the joints and on the spine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Don't get off just yet. We want you to stay on after the show for a few minutes. Again, Overseer, you did a great job today. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And to our producers, again, to Ken Walsh, Albert Minot, and Sean Gore, thank you all so much for helping us with a great show on today. Overseer, last word, and
get us out of here. Please, everybody, remember these two things that Dr. Dinelli said to find a good chiropractor. If they say they're family oriented, remember that. And secondly, if they're not talking, make sure if they are just talking about pain, that's not a good thing. You want them to talk about more. You want them to talk about getting your alignment and all that, getting your body healthy. So if you have not gone to a chiropractor, even thought about it, I think this should have done a great job to get there. So go to his website, aboutyouchiropractic.com. If you live in the Jersey area, to check him out. If you live outside of the Jersey area, which many of our visitors do, he said you can call him and he'll help you. Maybe you know somebody in your area that's going to be as excellent as he is. I'm only going to go to his place. So I don't know about everybody else, but me, my wife, my little one, and even if my other daughters and son want to get into it, we're going to come. I think it's a great thing. So we're ready to go. So Doc, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're hoping to have a great show next week with when we come back next week, Black History Month. Right there. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. So again, same time, same place. Badman Show.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great, great week. All right. Thank you.